to one and all present here. I welcome you all to Pragnavaridhi lecture series conducted for second year BMS students. Today we have with us Vaidya Reshma Saokar ma'am, who will be taking the topic pharmacovigilance. Handing over the session to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. At the outset, let me thank the Panchajanya team for giving me again an opportunity to present on the topic of pharmacovigilance and monitoring of adverse drug reaction. So, coming to the term of pharmacovigilance, the pharmacovigilance is made up of two terms. One is pharmakon, which is a Greek word, which means drug, and second is vigilare, which is a Latin word, which means to keep a watch or to keep awake or alert. So, according to the WHO definition, pharmacovigilance means the science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects or any other drug related problem. Okay, so here in this slide it will be more clear for you, where in the first part it is the detection which is done at the level of doctor, nurse or pharmacist, or by the patient himself or the patient relative or attendant or even the media. Then the assessing this severity of the risk factors. So that will be done by the expert team. And then third, it's the understanding of this type of severity, the nature of it, the frequency and the potential risk factors that are involved in that. That will be done by the doctor or experts who are in the field of medicine, biochemistry or pathology. And then further, after understanding about the risk factors, further is the prevention of it. That will be done. The like patients from being affected further should not be affected. So that final decision will be taken by the Ayush Ministry or with the help of CDSCO. So this all terms which are there, you have to understand when you are learning about pharmacovigilance. So now let us see what do you mean by the word adverse drug reaction. So adverse drug reactions means it is the response to a medicine which is noxious and unintended and which occurs at doses normally used in human for prophylaxis, diagnosis or therapy, excluding failure to accomplish the intended purpose. So when you are giving a medicine at the correct dose for the correct disease, and still when you are giving it you do not get the desired results, or even you there is some adverse drug reaction coming because of that, some maybe rashes or any other thing, then that will be considered as the adverse drug reaction. Whereas side effects, if you see, it is any unintended effect of a pharmaceutical product occurring at dose normally used in humans, that is related to pharmacological properties of the drug. So when it is a side effects, when you say example, you are applying a bakuchi. So bakuchi, the side effects of it is that it will cause rashes. That is normally it is seen when you apply bakuchi. So that will be the side effects of it. But adverse is when you are giving the drug, everything is proper, dose is proper, the disease is proper, and still you fail to accomplish that desired results, then it will be called as the adverse drug reaction. Fail or either untoward effect of it. Now, what are the reasons for this adverse drug reaction in ASU drugs? So, first and foremost is the self-medication. So, many a times we see that patients will be taking medicines without the prescription of the doctor. That is one major cause. Second is food and drug interaction. In food and drug interaction, many a times when you go to the doctor, the patient has to ask what are the diet restrictions that has to be followed, because many a times the food which is taken by the patient can interact with the drug. Say many a times if you have medicines which are say a bit Ushna Tikshna and all, say Lashuna is there in one of the ingredients of the medicine, or say Ballataka is there. So, and apart from that, again, if you have some spicy food and such kind of thing, that can interact with the drug. Even when we have seen about the Parada preparations, when it is given to the patient, there is the Kakarashtaka Gana, which has been told to avoid during that time. So, why it is told? Because that type of food will be interacting with the drug and subsiding its effects, or it can even cause untoward effect. So, third is the drug-drug interaction. In drug-drug interaction, many a times again, patients when they come to you, they'll already be on taking some medications and might even be on allopathic medications. So, when you are giving along with that Ayurvedic medicines, you have to tell them to always keep some gap between both the medications. And again, say patient has come for diabetic treatment. So he is already on anti-diabetic drugs which are there. And apart from that, the patient is also taking Ayurvedic medicines for diabetes or prameha. Then there are high chances that the sugar can go still lower. So such care you have to always take when you are taking the history of the patient, and ask the patient to give the proper history so that we can prescribe the proper drug. Next is the faulty dosage administrations. So this usually occurs when the patient is taking self-medication. Um, Patient doesn't know what will be the right dosage for him or her, and then end up taking higher dose and resulting in many a times again we see that allopathic doctors or which are there, they will usually write prescriptions which are single herb prescriptions are there, will be written many a times. So that can cause uh, the interaction with the medicine which you are taking. Then use of this, all this which are there can occur because from the patient side many a times. So you again, next is the use of erroneous type of herbs. So in this the raw drug be not of a good quality. And if such cases or such herbs are used for the preparation of medicine, it can lead to side effects. Or even if the shodhana of the drugs like not are not done properly, uh, or marana is not done properly, the basma is not done properly, then it can lead to adverse drug reaction. Next is the adulteration with other medicines. In this can occur when the raw drugs which are there are of substandard quality, uh, in which many times the original drug will be adulterated with some other drugs of lower quality, or which are not of good quality. And if such raw drugs are used for the preparation of medicine again and consumed, it can lead to adverse drug reaction. And next is the contamination with potentially hazardous substances like heavy metals and all. uh, all these things which are there, these three which are there, occurs from the part of pharmaceutical companies when they do not follow the proper protocol which is required for the preparation of medicines, right from taking standard quality of raw drugs to the preparation part of it to the detection of final product, assessing the quality control of the final product, and then only getting in the market. If this protocol is not followed properly, this it can lead to uh, ADR. If such medicine is consumed, it can lead to ADR. Now, here are some of the examples we will see over here. So, like especially if garlic and pork, which is there, if taken with hypoglycemic drugs, lowers blood sugar levels. Then pineapple, which is there, with taken with anticoagulant drugs, has the tendency of bleeding and diarrhea. Turmeric, which is there, interferes with body absorption of iron, antacids, and blood thinners. Next is even Yashtimadu, which is there. It interferes with diuretics and antihypertensive drugs. Green tea, which is there, contains tannins, should not be taken with codeine, prevents platelets from clotting, so with should also not be taken with aspirin. Cloves, which is there with uh, anticoagulants like heparin, warfarin, increases bleeding, decreases effect of anti-epileptic drugs like phenytoin by damaging the liver. So these are many a times used as spices or at the side by side taken as some alternative medicines and all, which can hamper the absorption of the drug. Now, so these are some examples which was seen in the earlier like miracle oil which was there. It caused itching and skin eruption. Marichari Tela, which is very commonly prescribed in Shita Pitta for itching and all. It can cause severe more itching, burning sensation, and even papular eruptions. Panchatikta Krita, which is there, um, can cause rashes over the body, skin lesions, vesicles, and burning sensation of palm and soles. This was already seen in the previous cases. And these are examples of some of allopathic drugs which are there, which also has some ADRs, which is very commonly is the thalidomide, which I will be discussing in the next slide. It causes birth defects, and aspirin, which is there, can cause bleeding of the intestine. Gentamicin, which is an antibiotic, can cause deafness and kidney failure. So there are many examples of allopathic drugs also which are causing ADR. Now let us see why was this pharmacovigilance, how it came into existence. So here, if we see the thalidomide drug which was there, it was used as an anti-emetic drug, and it was given in the first trimester of pregnancy. But it was seen that um, this tragedy occurred in 1961, and this in 1960 it was marketed in 46 countries as hypnotic prevention of nausea in pregnancy. And tragically, this drug proved to be a potent human teratogen that caused major birth defects in an estimated of 20,000 children. And what was that birth defect? It was phocomelia, which means absence of proximal part of the limbs was the characteristic feature of this disease. Okay, so this tragedy which was there, um, for this reason, it was decided that the pharmacovigilance, there was a need to monitor such type of drug reactions, and hence later on it came into existence. Now, what is the need? Why is the need of the pharmacovigilance for the ASU drugs? Why is it necessary that even the ASU drugs which are there, Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drugs, should be included under this? So, the main reason is because nowadays you will find very few physicians which are there prepare medicines for themselves and give it to the patient. Many a times it is the doctor depends on the pharmaceutical company for most of the medicines which are prepared. And because of this, flaring up of more pharmaceutical companies has come into existence, and hence definitely the variety of the medicines that are available with these pharmaceutical companies are more. Uh, so when this pharmaceutical company prepare medicines, it is necessary that they take the proper quality of the drugs or raw drugs materials which are necessary for giving a good quality medicines. Many a times this checking of the raw drugs is not done, and hence if it is not of a good quality, or if it is contaminated, or if it has presence of heavy metals, and such type of raw materials are used for the preparation of medicine, then it can that final product or the medicine which is prepared can be of not of a good quality, hence leading to uh, cause of ADR. Other thing is that many a time non-reporting of the ADR also of the ASU drugs are done. Many think that maybe it is just mildness, some rashes are there or some loose motion is there. Um, if it is very mild, definitely it just goes unreported. And the very again a very strong belief that all Ayurvedic medicines are safe in all conditions. So this is a very wrong notion that has been created among the masses, thinking that Ayurvedic medicines are safe. Definitely, Ayurvedic medicines are much safer compared to the allopathic medicines, but not all Ayurvedic medicines are safe, especially when they are prepared out of metals and minerals. Especially the basmas which are there has to be taken under proper medical supervisions, because the dose of this basmas is very less and it has to be taken with the proper anupana, and even the duration of the medicine which you are taking it for, many a times it is taken for very long duration, thinking that it doesn't have any side effects. So these factors which are there, then it becomes a need to introduce the pharmacovigilance to the ASU drugs. So, what this pharmacovigilance does? What is its aim? One, first and foremost, is to reduce the risk of drug-related problems. Then, to spot, compute, and file drug-related problems which are there. Then, to increase the knowledge and understanding of factors and mechanisms which are responsible for drug-related injuries, and to promote understanding, education, and clinical training in pharmacovigilance and its effective communication to the public. So, all these points needs to be um, highlighted at when it comes to pharmacovigilance of ASU drugs. Now, when this pharmacovigilance came into existence? So, after the thalidomide tragedy in 1970, the WHO had established International Drug Monitoring Program, and of this, 130 countries are members of this WHO medicines uh, safety program. And the main monitoring center is in Uppsala, a monitoring center in Sweden is considered as the main international drug monitoring center. And in India, the National Pharmacovigilance Programs was established in 2004 under CDSCO, that is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. And the National Pharmacovigilance Advisory Committee, which was as manages this program throughout the country. So in 2004, traditional medicines were also included in this program, and a three-tier system was created to run this program for ASU drugs. So what is this three-tier system? Is first is the National Pharmacovigilance Center. Under that, we have the five intermediary centers, pharmacovigilance center. The five centers are: one is in Gujarat, ITRA, Institute of Teaching in Research and Ayurveda, which was earlier called as IPGTRA. Now it is called as ITRA. And another for Ayurveda is NIA Jaipur, National Institute of Ayurveda in Jaipur. So these are two for Ayurveda. Then for Unani, it is in Bangalore. For homeopathic, it is in Kolkata. And for Siddha, it is in Chennai. So under these five intermediary centers, there are 96 peripheral pharmacovigilance centers are there. Among there, we have one in STM Institute of Ayurveda, Bangalore. We have one of the pharmacovigilance center in GMC Bangalore also. It is there. Then another is Cary in Bangalore. STM Hassan also has one of the peripheral pharmacovigilance center. KLE Belgaum also has one of the peripheral pharmacovigilance center. Koppa also has this pharmacovigilance center. So how this works? The National Pharmacovigilance Center is in All India Institute of Ayurveda, Delhi. Under that, 5, which we have recently seen, and then under below that, the Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center. There are 96 in number. Of that, 49 are for Ayurveda, 15 for Siddha, 15 for Unani, 16 for homeopathic, and 1 for Sovarepa. So this has been recently introduced. When this national the pharmacovigilance for ASU drugs, it began in collaboration with WHO, country officer India, New Delhi, was set up on 29th September 2008 at Jamnagar. So first this National Pharmacovigilance Center, which was there, what was in Jamnagar, and in later 2018 it was shifted to All India Institute of Ayurveda, Delhi. So, we as a peripheral pharmacovigilance center, our code is 020. We have to report every month to the intermediate center. That is, we are reporting every month to ITRA, Jamnagar, Gujarat. So, we report usually the any adverse drug reaction that has occurred during the month, and even reporting of misleading advertisements, many a times it is there, so that also will be reported to the intermediate center, uh, along with one letter that will be also going to the state licensing authority, which is there, also will be informed about the misleading advertisements. So this is about how the pharmacovigilance works. So first is, and it is the Ministry of Ayush. Under that is the National Pharmacovigilance Center, which is in All India Institute of Ayurveda. Below that is the 5 intermediate pharmacovigilance centers, which we had seen, one in Gujarat, one in NIA, Unani in Bangalore, homeopathic in Calcutta, and Siddha in Chennai. Under Ayurveda, we saw that it is National Institute of Ayurveda Jaipur and ITRA Jamnagar. So under that, there are the Pharmacovigilance Center, Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center. Then under Unani, there are some centers which are there. Then under homeopathy, there are around 13, and Chennai, there are around 15. So all these peripheral centers which are there, their duty is to create an awareness among the doctors, among the students, and even among the public masses about the ADR. And time to time there will be some programs that will be conducted, or some awareness programs will be conducted to create an awareness. And all this peripheral pharmacovigilance center will report to the intermediary center. From intermediary center, it will be reported to the National Pharmacovigilance Center and above. So, what are the actions that will be taken by the National Pharmacovigilance Center? So, first is they will be preparing a protocol for ASU drugs, then development of ADR reporting form. So, this ADR reporting form, if you visit the website, it will be available at ayuraksha.com, or just visit, you can see that, and there in that the detail for this is there available, which has to be filled by the junior research fellow at the Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center, and it will be further reported to the higher authority. So if a doctor comes across any ADR, then the doctor has to report it to the junior research fellow at the peripheral center, that we will see later on. And then they also conduct training programs for the coordinators of regional pharmacovigilance center and peripheral pharmacovigilance center. So when there is a peripheral pharmacovigilance center, there will be one coordinator, which will, according to now NCSM, it is faculty of Rasashastra or Vaishajya Kalpana or Dravyaguna. So here in Bangalore, in STM Institute of Ayurveda, as a faculty, I am the coordinator for the Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center, and under me there is one junior research fellow by name Dr. Kushal. She will be working for the reporting all the matters. Then ROTP, Research and Orientation and Training Program, which is there for the pharmacovigilance for teachers of Ayurveda, also will be conducted, and arranging for different promotional activities also will be done. Recently, we had done a promotional activity in around September second week of this, which was a national pharmacovigilance week, which was observed, and we had created a awareness among the different um, staffs of dispensary, then the massiers and other non-teaching staffs, and even we had given small talks on different topics regarding that. Now, who can report this ADRs? We will see over here. So, any healthcare professional which is there can report this ADR. Then it shall not be accepted reports from any lay members of the public. So, any lay member which is there, it will not be accepted by them. Others can report through the physician under whom he or she has undergone the treatment. So, if a layman wants to report, that person has to report it to the physician from whom the medicine has been taken. Consumer can directly report to the concerned peripheral pharmacovigilance cell. So, they can report it directly to the peripheral cell, and this regional pharmacovigilance or PPC or regional pharmacovigilance cell or nearest healthcare center or physician regarding the suspected ADR. So these people can report the ADRs. So patient to the healthcare professional. So from healthcare professional directly to the National Pharmacovigilance Center or through to the hospital to that the peripheral center, regional center, and pharmacovigilance center, or directly to the regional center, or can even report it to the manufacturer, and from there they have to report it to the National Pharmacovigilance Center. So, what has to be reported? So, all suspected adverse reactions which are there has to be reported from right from minor to a major one, any one. Major, even the events, adverse drug events which are there, say when you are doing any panchakarma treatment and all, and if the patient gets some rashes or burns and all, that also has can be reported. Lack of effects of the medicine, that also can be reported. Resistance to the medicine which is there, that also can be reported. Drug interactions, then reactions suspected of causing death, life threatening, which is real risk of dying, then which has lead to hospitalization, either initial or prolonged hospitalization, disability if it has caused temporary one or a permanent one also, and congenital anomaly. So all these cases which are there can be reported to the peripheral center. So this is about some of the reactions that had been seen, um, which has caused the adverse drug reaction. And there are some cases also which has been reported, and articles also had been published. So one example of was of the side effects with Ayurvedic medicine like ashwagandha leha, is that it should not be used in piles having bleeding tendencies or paitika or raktaja arshas will worsen the situation, but kapha and vata arshas it can be cured. So this was about ashwagandha leha. And another very common uh, side effects or adverse drug reaction usually we see is because of the overdose effect of aconite containing Ayurvedic medicine. This was the Mahashankavati. This Mahashankavati was taken by the patient himself. Two dose tablets were taken, TID dose. And since Mahashankavati contains Vatsanabha as one of the ingredient, very commonly encountered adverse drug reaction is majority of the times is because of the Vatsanabha overdose. So this there was an overdose of this medication, and the patient suddenly got blackouts because Vatsanabha here is cardiotoxic and even neurotoxic, and this Shankhavati, which was taken, it caused blackouts, it caused sudden drop of the blood pressure. The blood pressure dropped around 60 by 40, and pulse rate was also low. But the patient was managed with the Ayurvedic line of treatment by giving Arjuna Rishta and even Kanakasa also was given in this treatment and all, and the patient was stabilized. Even Tankana was administered, and patient was stabilized. Here, if you see the medicinal preparations which are there, the medicinal preparations that are mentioned in the Ayurveda, usually like say Tribhuvan Kirti Rasa or Suchekar Rasa or even Shankhavati, many a times there will be an antidote of that drug present. Uh, Say when it is Vatsanapa, it is taken. Usually, Tankana will be one of the ingredient in that preparations. If you see Shwaskutha Rasa, or if you see Tribhuvan Kirti Rasa, or even Ananda Bhairav Rasa, this will be Suchekhar Rasa. This will be one of the ingredient because the ancient acharyas knew that when Vatsanaba is given, definitely it has some good therapeutic benefits, but at the same time it has some side effects. And hence, Tankana is one of the antidote of Vatsanaba which reduces the side effects. And another major thing when I said Kanakasava, if you see modern scriptures for aconite poisoning, there will be atropine will be used as the antidote. So atropine is present in Datura. If you see the Tribhuvan Kirti Rasa which is there, it has bhavana of Surasa Ardraka Hemavi. Hemaviya here is Datura Patra Swarasa. Even if you see Suchekha Rasa, it has the presence of Datura Bija. So the formulations are designed in such a way that uh, the side effects of one drug is counterbalanced by the other ingredients present in that formulation. So it has to be given in that proper dose only and has to be taken in under proper medical supervision only. Then only it will show you the good results. And very other important thing is that Shodhana and Marana of these drugs which are there, metal and mineral based drug or Visha Upavishas which are there, has to be done perfectly so as to reduce the toxicity of those drugs. Then only you can see the desired result. And if you see the Ayurvedic part of the pharmacovigilance, if you have seen, it has already been mentioned in the classical texts of Ayurveda that yatha visham, yatha shastram, yatha agni shanaischeta. If you are aushadam, be avidnyatam. So if you are not having the knowledge of the medicine, it can act like a poison, shastra, it can even act like a agni, that side effects it can cause. But vignatam, if you are having the knowledge of medicines properly, it acts like a amrut. And even deshaja chapi duryuktam, so if you are not using the medicine properly, tikshnam sampadyate visham, it can act like a poison. So which has it is already been told in the classical about this, and which is if it is properly followed can minimize the adverse drug reaction of the Ayurvedic drugs. So with this, I conclude my session. Thank you once again for the opportunity given.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the detailed session on pharmacovigilance. It was a very delightful session, and we were very honored to have you in the session, ma'am. Thank you so much once again, ma'am.